In 1972, French geologist Michel Siffre descended into a cave in Texas and vanished from the world above. He stayed underground for nearly 6 months, with no clocks, no sunlight, and no sense of day or night. It was part of a NASA experiment. Scientists wanted to understand how long a human could stay sane in total isolation, the kind of isolation astronauts would face on interplanetary missions. Siffre ate, slept, and recorded data, deciding on his own when to rest and when to switch the lights. But soon, his inner rhythm began to collapse. His days stretched to 25 hours, then 30, and eventually 48. When the experiment ended, he was certain he'd spent 151 days underground. In reality, 179 had passed. His brain had literally slowed down the flow of time. And he wasn't alone. Every person who's been cut off from the world long enough experiences the same thing. Time starts to break. The present stretches endlessly, while the past and the future fade away. Why does that happen? Why can our brain bend and stretch time itself? And if it can, what if time isn't real at all? You've probably noticed this yourself. When you're bored, time drags painfully slow. But when you're deeply engaged in something, it flies. The same hour can feel like eternity or a blink. That simple truth hides something profound. Time exists only inside us. Neurobiologist Dean Bonamano, in his book Your Brain is a Time Machine, writes, "Time processing isn't handled by one region of the brain. It's built into the very fabric of our neural networks. Every thought, every movement, every emotion depends on how the brain predicts the future." Our brain is a biological prediction engine. It constantly models what's going to happen a fraction of a second from now. When you catch a ball, listen to music, talk to someone, or simply walk, your brain is betting on the future. It predicts when the traffic light will turn green, when the commercial will end, when the ball will hit the ground. We live in a constant state of what comes next, and that ability to predict is exactly what creates our sense of time. Think about it, the brain doesn't just measure time, creates it. Have you ever wondered what the present moment really is? Right now, this is now. But try to catch it. By the time you realize you're in the present, it's already gone. Neuroscientists have found that the brain doesn't see time as a continuous flow. It builds reality out of separate frames, about 10 to 15 per second. Between those frames are tiny gaps, which the brain simply edits out. When you blink, move your eyes, or turn your head, your brain cleans up the picture, stitching it together into a seamless movie. That's why reality feels smooth. But in truth, it's made of frozen snapshots your mind merges into one. What we call the flow of the present isn't real. It's an illusion created inside your head. You're literally living inside a movie your brain edits on the fly. And the flow of time you feel is just a special effect. But fine, if our perception of time is an illusion, then maybe there's an objective time out there, ticking the same for everyone, from atoms to galaxies. Physics says, no. Einstein proved that time isn't universal. It stretches and contracts depending on speed and gravity. The faster you move, the slower time flows for you. Even between someone standing on Earth and someone flying in a plane, there's a microscopic difference in age. That's not a metaphor. It's a measured fact. Time isn't the same for everyone. Every object in the universe has its own private clock. Imagine two people walking past each other. They move slowly, almost in sync. But from a distant galaxy, their now moments don't line up. For one, something there has already happened. For the other, it hasn't yet. This isn't science fiction. It's the verified consequence of Einstein's theory of relativity. And it means there is no single now for the entire universe. If there's no universal now, then what does reality actually look like? Physicists and philosophers call it the block universe. Imagine a four-dimensional block where space and time are one. The past, present, and future don't disappear. They coexist, frozen as different coordinates of a single cosmic structure. From this view, time doesn't flow. It simply is. Every moment, every event, already exists, written into the fabric of spacetime. What we experience as the flow of time is just our consciousness sliding through that four-dimensional map, creating the illusion of movement forward. Disturbing, isn't it? If everything already exists, does that mean the future is fixed? That every choice you'll ever make is already part of the block? Maybe, or maybe that thought itself is just another illusion created by the brain, an attempt to find meaning in a universe that never moves. And here's the ultimate question. If time is an illusion, then what is real? When Einstein was asked about time, he said, "The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubborn illusion." Maybe everything we call the flow of life is nothing more than perception, a flicker inside human consciousness. We are not travelers through time. We are the flow itself. And maybe that's what being alive truly means. Even if the universe is a frozen four-dimensional block, our mind adds motion, emotion, awareness, the illusion of now. And perhaps within that illusion, within that tiny, fragile human mistake, lies the meaning of existence itself.